children, so today in English we are doing our Thursday's handwriting lesson, and today we are going to do the D join. So first of all we're going to do D into I. So watch carefully, curly-cut into da, up, down, across into the I, back down with a little tail and dot it. D, curly-cut into da, up into I, back down and dot. Then we're going to do D into R, which is a bit more difficult. So, curly-cut into da, back down, now up, down and up again. That's a lot of up and downing, isn't it? D into up, down, up again and across. Dra. Let's do one more of those. D into up, down, up again and across. Dra. The next join is D into Y. So curly cut into da, up into the Y and a nice long tail. Curly cut, up into da and into your Y with a nice long tail. And finally we are going to do D into E. So curly cut into da and loop it into your E. That's quite a tricky one. Curly cut into da, loop it into your E. Make sure that's not too squished. I need to see that little bit of pencil line there. Now let's have a look at writing it in your handwriting books. So, the first one, make sure it's within the blue line. D, now we go up, the ascender goes right to the red line and the I is in the blue line. Curly cut into da, up, up and down to make your I. D into R, down, this stays in the blue line, the R. Do you remember? Curly cut into da, up, down, up again into R. One more of those as it's tricky. D into up, down, up again and over to R. Dra. Now a little bit easier. D into Y. All the way down to that red line. Curly cut into da, into Y. So we're touching both those red lines. The D goes to the top and the Y comes all the way down to the bottom one. And D into E. Don't forget to loop it. Make sure you don't squash those two. Curly cut into da, loop over into E. Now when you've done the whole lines of those letters, you can think of some words that use them. For example, I can think of dry, if you can't join the Y, that's fine. Just print it. I can think of dig, dig into G. I can think of dip, D into I, into P. I can think of, a word using that blend. I've got one. Watch, see if you can get it. Windy, windy. And, I've got another one, another weather one. Cloudy, cloudy. Can you think of one for D and Y? Starting with D and Y. Let's see. I can think of dye, like hair dye. I've done DI. Let's do D and R again. Let's have drip. Oh, and that's made me think of another one. Drop. Okay, children, I look forward to seeing your beautiful handwriting. Make sure you've got a sharp pencil. Bye-bye for now.